This morning I'm doing some viewings on an open house that we've got up for sale, and what I notice is that the market is very cautious. The people who are coming to view the property are not sure about whether to put in an offer, and they've got all sorts of questions and fears, I suppose, about the property market. Now, the things that I'm seeing on the ground are, number one, the cost of buying. Prices are steadily still increasing, of course, in the housing market, and the requirement for the larger and larger deposit is obviously putting a lot of first-time buyers off because they simply can't afford to put down a large deposit on a property. This is partly, of course, because we are not building enough properties in the UK. As we know, supply and demand hugely affects prices. Secondly, the cost of buying a property. If you are a first-time buyer, you've got a £300,000 ceiling beyond which you will pay stamp duty, but under £300,000 you won't pay any stamp duty. So this is very good for first-time buyers. But of course, if you're a second-time buyer for a £300,000 house, the cost of stamp duty on that purchase will be £5,000. That's money you're giving straight to the government, and the government will then obviously choose to use that money however it wishes. But for a lot of people, that extra £5,000 would be the cost of moving, it would be the cost of the solicitor, it will contribute to their deposit if they didn't have to pay it. And the other thing is, of course, mortgage rates. And because we've seen such a lot of volatility recently in bond yields, particularly long-term bond yields, this is pushing mortgage rates up slowly. Fortunately, not too quickly at the moment, but they are definitely on the rise. Now, these things obviously have a dampening effect on the housing market. Our housing market in the UK contributes about 2% to GDP. What does that actually mean? It means that when we build new houses, that contributes to the wealth of the economy. Obviously, housing itself has many people working in it. The housing industry have people like me, letting agents, estate agents, builders, decorators, carpet fitters, people who do jobs around property. Whether you're buying and selling property, whether you're investing in property, whether you're a painter and decorator who decorates property. This all contributes to the economy around property. But when we have very high taxes, such as national insurance, which taxes people who are working in that industry, when we have VAT rates, which effectively suppress sole traders from wanting to grow their business because the VAT threshold is about to be reached, so they decide not to carry on working for the last few months of the year so they don't have to become VAT registered. When you've got other taxes like stamp duty and the extremely extreme uncertainty around interest rates when you're buying, these are the reasons why buyers are put off buying property. And we're also seeing sellers failing to put their houses on the market because they themselves are worried about what it's going to mean for them moving on when they either downsize or upsize or maybe just move to a different part of the country. The costs in moving are so high that they themselves are being put off moving. This is why it's absolutely critical that as we move forward, we've got to recognise that the housing market is an incredibly important part of our economy. Not only is it a financially important sector, but also it allows people to put down roots in local areas. It allows them to make a place of their own. It also allows people to move in terms of jobs. And if we're fully reliant solely on rental property, this, of course, benefits only a small number of people. We really want to get people buying houses. We want to get people living in houses and making that home their own. We want to see people putting down roots in local communities, feeling part of what's going on in their locality. And buying a house, owning a property is one of the best ways to do it. So I very much believe that as a reform government, we've got to address the housing crisis, not only in the private rental sector, but definitely in the house building and the housing economy, to enable people to buy, to be able to enable people to put down roots, and to enable people to put down foundations for their own and their family's future.